writer between like 12 BC to like 60 AD, roughly. I don't have, that's not the exact dates, but it's that time frame. He was a contemporary to Cleopatra. He was a Greek temple priest that went to Kemet to be educated, and then he began to be write his philosophical understanding in for antiquity. Remember, back then, less than 1% of 1% of people could read and write. Let that sink in.
I see.
Everybody back then that knew how to read and write was under the well orchestrated control of the temple priests.
You good, Chief?
But anyway, we get to talk about a lot of this stuff today.
Yes, sir. Man, I had a couple topics. Like I said, you jumped straight into it. That was going into. I was going to read some of these names out that they they contradict themselves, and we got to get out the habit of just listening to anything these people say. But they contradicting themselves because one second they say they have no written language, but then the next day they say that we gave them language, that there was the mother culture, right? I'm studying it, and it goes back to. I'm gonna give you the exact languages to go to. Po two, pure one, obedient to the law. Ta ta two jaguar paw, one who is the supporter of the mystic order and obedient to the law. Po B, one pure. Po Buffet, two jaguar paw, and it's just breaking these names down. It's on the top of they kufis. You feel me? It's breaking down. It's breaking it down in so many different ways that they'll try to cover up, and they hoping you're not reading and paying attention to these symbols, but they answers put it right there in our face. They covered it up. They try to hide it and destroy the noses, and that's another telltale sign. But they telling you who they are because what they just read off was if you're familiar with like you always say the Congo, right? The Congo's Mississippi River, right? And their Congo, everything is the same. It's a mirror reflection. Their
There you
temple of the
go.
Python in Dahomey over there is our temple of the Python or Quetzalcoatl here. And I don't know how or like their biggest thing is divide everything and make us hate ourselves. But it's that was the stuff that stonework right there. There's the scrolls, and they'll argue with that. They'll look at they have these notes, and then they'll turn around and disregard everything they say. They say, how did they build a pyramid? They said Le Mbe, one who erect existence, erected stone deities. They say that in every culture, every religion, that stone or Nephilim, they literally break this down in the Pole Vuh and all these different things, and they refuse to look at that, and they'll even disrespect their own God, refusing to acknowledge that all their gods were black. Quetzalcoatl, Cocopele, to name a few of them, but all their deities down there, their origins are black, but yet they'll disrespect their own God. You see what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
But the Chi dynasty goes from a place, I think Dahomey, Egypt, Mexico, Chi dynasty, because they're not calling themselves Olmec back then. It's Xi, Chi. It's pronounced Chi.
G.
Yeah,
G.
Chi dynasty in
G.
China.
G.
Yeah, the Chi. You know what I'm saying? They got statues of these brothers meditating, doing yoga, doing all these amazing things, and they covered all that up. Every single one of them Olmec statues have braids and locks, and they only show you what they want to show y'all. They're literally like trying to repurpose creation and time and everything, and it ain't that deep. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know, but now you got a cell phone. We can look up anything. We can call the museums and get them to fax you anything. You see what I'm saying? They're giving us the symbols, and those symbols are the same. El Rey, the king. So you don't think I'm flying? It just says the Popo Vu right here. His name's El Rey. We're talking about Mansa Abukari.
Do
The
you remember? Do you remember? I did a couple shows, and I was like, when we see somebody and they name Ray Ray or Sunny Boy or Sun
yeah,
Sun, them baby chiefs.
Right, not Ray, right?
Read that name again in the translation of it.
This is the now. What I'm reading are the symbols that are the hieroglyphs, or they don't call them hieroglyphs, but the texts that are similar to hieroglyphs that are on the kufis or wave caps of
Right, but
these
it's
transformation
the
tables.
name you read it
The
in
first
the
one, his name's El Rey, the king.
right.
They got
Now,
several ones called, huh?
all, now El Rey, the king, it ties back into the reason why we name our sons Ray, Ray, right? Uh, Raymond mean the king of the mountain. It's literally a two-syllable word, Ray and mound.
See, you catching me? I was about to get on to that next because it's leading into that. It was about to lead into the pyramids under the water, the whole pyramid wars. Go ahead.
Okay, now you mentioned the pyramids under the water. I'm just gonna say Saint Bernard Parish, and then I'm gonna do like that brother say, look it up.
Yes, sir. Say it one more time.
It's Saint Bernard Parish,
That's Louisiana.
New
There you go.
Orleans. It's the part of New Orleans that's no longer above water. I can show you better than I can
Oh,
tell you. You know I can show you.
I'm letting you go because we got receipts. They got pyramid structures off the coast of Cuba up under the water with the same symbols of the Olmec that they date to 50,000 years. It had to be 50,000 years beforehand. So if you're saying, and we know that the Olmec or the so-called Z people weren't from there because they're saying that they were different from the other people in that region. So it's not to say that the Aztecs weren't there and all these other people weren't there, because they're literally saying they're doing business with other people. They're traders. They're doing business and trade and doing different rituals for these people. But they literally tell them one of them, his name is Yope, master of snakes. Again, I'm going. It keep on bringing me back to when you illiterate, it ain't got nothing to do about reading their books. It's talking about reading all these
All
different.
right. When did the Christians come over here?
Uh,
They came with Columbus, right?
I mean, yeah, 1492.
Okay. Now, 12,000 years ago, they saying that this city sunk. But don't know Christians get here until 1492. That means for about 11 and a half thousand years, nobody should have seen that landmass, right? According to
I was
what they're
about,
saying,
I was about to get,
right?
yeah.
So why do they got church steeples sticking out the water with the cross on it?
Come to find out, that's one of our symbols. That's one of our. Come to find out, the ancient cross thing, the serpent symbol. When you said that's why I threw out there about the pyramids, I was gonna lead to. I'm saying their names because I think it's beautiful. I just got up on the names. But the pyramid, the energy conductors, we got them all over the coast of Florida. I'm in Tallahassee. The pyramids are all throughout Florida,
Okay,
right?
but no matter how you cut it, they have to explain that away.
And they can't. And it not only that, the connection between all these places with the Olmec. We got a pyramid out here in Turkey Scratch. They know had connections with the Olmec, but they don't talk about it. Just like you
Okay,
do
so
the whole Mississippian culture.
yeah. Now the old Mississippians is the Olmecs. They are the Inca. They are the Maya, right? They got offspring like the Arawak and the Shoshone and the Shada and the Iroquois and the Washita. All those are offshoot tribes. The main root tribe, if you go and look at the map, right, and you look at the Mississippi Delta, the Louisiana Basin, where the water drained into the Gulf, right? You have the mirror of that in the south, coming out of the Amazon, right? We got villages, monkey villages, to them the same Zinji, the same Ninji, the same niggas, the old Mississippians, because we wrapped around,
They got it.
right, the Fertile Crescent of the Gulf. But what we don't know is where the Gulf is. The reason the Gulf is there is the same reason the Mediterranean there during the Anunnaki wars. They say it was a meteorite. It was a fucking bomb, and it was filled in by the excess water. After you bomb it, you create a crater, right?
Mm-hmm.
The crater fills in with water because it's below sea level. As the crater fill in with water, it forms into the Gulf in
Just to
order
spit.
for you. Yeah. So they want us to believe that that stuff is just poofed there because it wasn't us. Can't tell me that. I remember doing the design for some of them buildings. So you can't tell me that we didn't have nothing to do with it. I remember designing it.
Just on some Pastor Troy thing, right? When he said everything was vice versa. If it is their technology, like those people that are down there now says their technology, why aren't they maintaining it and why aren't they using it? That's the telltale. That's
Okay.
the same
Go.
Egyptians. The Egyptians say that's their technology, but they're the ones blowing it up because they are Al Akbar, right? And Al Akbar say no idols. So there was never a time, like you said, that could be their stuff or their technology when their dean says destroy it all. That's what they do. They destroy the notes, they destroy the faith because it's not theirs. They disrespect it. If that is theirs and it was out there, they would be out there, you know what I'm saying, still doing all that shit right now. You see what I'm saying? If it was if the people that's down there now, the Mongolians is down there now, if those pyramids was theirs, why aren't they living in that inhabited right now and
You just
enjoying?
said the key words. You said Mongolians, right? Do you know the what Genghis Khan was?
I don't know what war it was, but
This
there's been times where they've sent
this is important to know though.
get them.
Remember, I said 60% of all of the males Y chromosome come from Genghis
Oh,
Khan. That's active. That even include over here. They got a map. You can pull up a Genghis Khan's Y chromosome map, and they'll show you percentage of his seed in every land. That means that he was either marrying people from them lands or he sent children out into them lands to marry people, sons specifically.
and both.
Because you have to, because he's only spreading his Y chromosome, right? This is he's a major figure in the Earth's history. They said he had over 5,000 children, right? He had more than that because they didn't count children by concubines and maidservants. They only counted the ones by harem wives with tenure. They didn't count them other little brats. They still got his genes,
Facts.
right? So now when we're looking at the Y chromosomes across the land, we're looking at how it's spread, right? Then it starts to click. We begin to see it clearer. They told us the story in reverse because they told us that if you go look at the history of the Romans and who they was fighting, they fought Ottomans during the Turkish uprising, right? And the establishment of Turkey. They fighting with Rome. That's who their enemy was. The Northeast Africa is was all part of Ethiopia. What we call today Iraq, Iran, Syria, Pakistan, all the way into India. India was what they call East Ethiopia. It's just like Florida is the east land of flowers, Louisiana is the western land of flowers. By the way, Chief Warhorse dropped a major video. Y'all gotta see it, share it on her channel. She declared victory for the China Nation. And if she declare victory, that means all chiefs across the land can celebrate her victory and declare victory following her lead.
I say.
She also separated herself from New Orleans by paperwork because the China Nation had dual citizenship. She is the certified seven in the line blood chief, right? So when she giving this, she's doing for her tribe, but if it's righteous and it's successful, we all get to use it.
I say.
So if she declare victory, we all can declare victory. But you have to know what she's telling you in the video, because she's not just declaring victory in vain. The victory is supported by the members of the local government and the old fallen federal government. They acknowledged her heritable right tracing back, I think they said 12,000 years. They acknowledged it through the government, which also is the leverage up to Empress Verdiasi's claim. So now you got two tribal mothers with tenure and fighting for their tribe, tried, tested, and proven, and the enemy that admitted that these sisters was right. Now all tribal leaders that's understanding of what's going on can use that. Now, what are we supposed to do? All we supposed to do as the Braves, the membership of the clan, is to share it, share it, share it, share it, and share it, and get other people to understand what it means to the tribes. F what it means to the community at large. We don't care about their feelings. They didn't care about ours. We don't care if they get stepped on. We have to get back to what's ours. And what's ours is, as Elijah Muhammad say, be your own, accept your own, and be yourself. Right? And we don't have to negotiate, debate, and try to convince non-tribal members or supporters of our position. They gonna see in their eyes when it all play out. As Tupac say, all eyes on me, I say y'all eyes gonna see. When we understand what's taking place, right? Because most of us don't get it. We think we get it, and we still trying to prove the fraud. That stuff is right now. We done proving
Facts.
everything. We didn't prove it.
Facts.
We didn't show you where the lying liars signed the names to the lies that they told. We showed you why they confessed that they was telling the lie, trying to cover up a piece of the truth. This is why she talking about the situation with Andrew Jackson in the video, right? Andrew Jackson was instrumental in the Dawes role and the Trail of Tears directly. His name, because he had handlers, but his name carried that dirt, right? So the tribes that fought the system in the system kept the paper trail for the ones that was fighting the system outside the system, that was classified by the system as the criminal element. You become the criminal element when you're not part of the invading force that's invading your farm. The invader got to declare you as the hostile in order to trick your tribesmen into believing that they doing what the rest of the tribes want them to do when they ain't got nothing to do with us. So they came in with their old Mutt and Jeff routine, good cop, bad cop. They send the good guys in that look like us, which was really the bad guys. And then they sent the bad guys in that didn't look like us, which was really just the pawns. We begin to believe, because the pawns kept the history in the forefront, that the pawns was the power players. We ain't ever seen the pawn be the power player on the chessboard.
When it becomes queen or hits the other side of the board,
I mean, he got to cross the finish line, then he
gotta
can
cross the
come
finish.
back for everybody
Word.
else. But when he come across that finish line, He got the option to become whatever player on the board is needed in order to help the rest of them get across the finish line.
I say. Chess.
Okay, now, King Arthur's sword. You remember that story? Okay. If you pull up the image of King Arthur's sword sticking out of the rock, it's at an angle. If you look at the cross in the stone called Mount Calvary, right? A lot of the churches have the same slant to the cross. The cross is a sword of war in the ground because the war was waged against the great mother of the earth. That great dragon we call Tiamat. Tiamat is actually the Kundalini energy that encompasses the world as the great serpent, the serpent energy, that serpentine fire, right? Earth, wind, and fire. What's missing?
Water.
Earth, wind, and fire. What's missing?
Water.
There's two elements missing.
Water and well, I know water off top. What's the next one?
Ether.
Ether.
Okay. The ether is the chemical composition of accumulated love energy, referred to as ore energy. In the ore energy, Dr. Delbert Blair reference, go check him out talking about the ore energy, is the original energy extracted from what's known as the primordial noon or the sacred waters of the womb of creation. Right? The human being reenact the holy drama in order to change power from the unworthy to the worthy. Right? So the great Tiamat, that great beast, the Kundalini of the earth, is going to tag, right? It's a game of tag now with all of the divine matriarchs, all the way till you get to the one who holds the blood right to sit on the sacerdotal seat of the earth as the acting and reigning Isis. A lot of sisters be frustrated because they think that they ISIS due to the Sybil effect. But their works and their deeds don't open the path according to the quantum of blood and mitochondrial positioning of the clans to seek them. That don't mean they're not great women. Everybody want to be the one until the one show themselves, and now everybody envious because they thought they was gonna be the one.
I see.
Right? So if you when you understand the old culture and the old ways, a lot of this modern stuff just fall off like a snake shedding the skin.
Yo, I'm about to hit you. Like I said, you really just jumped on my paper, and I was like about to ask you half of this stuff. Just to let you know, we will be taking questions. I don't want to cut him while he's like dropping it on us because sometimes you don't want to miss it. So we will take your questions in a minute because there is some people in the comments that I do want to address. But everything you just said was spot on. Even when it gets to the serpent aspect of it, when somebody said something about the idol thing, the funny thing about it is the Nagu, the Naga. Nagu is one of these Olmec heads. Also, when it starts breaking down verses of the Jaguar elite status, that's the status of it, right? And no, it's not idol worship per se. It's literally telling you what these people were doing. So you
Hey,
can't be like prove it, and then when it proves it, they be like, "Oh, now it's idols." No, this was how we communicated, and this is how we always communicated.
listen.
So, and check this out. You spoke on the serpent, John 3:4, Luke 3. This is several times in the Bible when God told Moses that he sent the dragon down here to punish the non-believer, and then told Moses to create a bronze serpent, and he said to cure you, you can touch this bronze serpent. So this is in your Bible, your Quran, your Torah. This is also in every the serpent's wisdom. Like this is the whole time. The name of the game is to divide us and keep us from even learning. They think that Oh, you worshiping an idol because you learned about something. How can I tell you the truth? We learned we learn the shit they taught us in the Quran. We learned the shit they taught
Listen,
us in the Bible. So why not learn what they talking about? You see what I'm saying?
no,
And once you learn that the language that they're using is actually from a Twa. They got Twa civilization down there. The Twa people are not just also a Congo Bantu languages, and this is under the sound information of Cloud Winters. He's the author. Cloud Winters he's a good brother. I want to see if I can get y'all up there together because you and Cloud will kill that. And I also want to do a little honorable mention real quick before we get back started. Please check out Vicky Dillard and Dr. Pewitt because they're giving us a lot of information on a lot of different things too.
no,
So, but
Vicky,
yeah,
both of them, my girl. I
I know,
love both of them.
I already know it. I just had to throw it out there because it's not enough of us putting information out there. It's not. We got a lot of people right now that want the spot so bad they'll resort to the same tactics, the same weird tactics that let's start beef in the community. Let's start drama in the community, and we ain't got to do that. Let your talent speak. Let your work speak for yourself because if we saying that this is what we are, they're telling you one who is the supporter of the mystic order, obedient to the law. The law said we got to conduct ourselves a little bit better than we're doing instead of talking like you got these little weird dudes out here talking bad about Rashid Jamal. He falling. Hadith say you don't never kick a man while he's down. You don't never talk against your brother while he messed up. You got people talking down against
I,
Bobby Hemmett, and it's
listen, hold on,
weird.
hold on, hold on. So pump the brakes. When you are in the position to kick somebody, you got to remember when you gonna kick somebody while they down, it's a good chance you're gonna slip, fall, and bust your own ass. Right? You gotta always remember, Bookman, you've always been overprotective of Tucson. Anybody say something about him gonna automatically stir your ires because you have to be triggered emotionally for the resurgence of the Haitian revolutionary return, which is going to become the Haitian or Haiti evolutionary return. Y'all turning the energy around. He need opposition right now. He don't want it, but he need it. Why do he need it? He's breaking from under the control of the government war with the French on the Louisiana territory. He needs somebody to beat him in public to draw the attention back to him.
I say
And everything that look like it ain't for you don't mean you can't benefit from it.
facts.
I'm watching what's playing out, so I'm not saying that because
Listen,
I understand the game, right? And if you are falsely accusing somebody from a place of ignorance, the only thing that you need to have in order for you to serve is the energy of love. If you're doing it from a place of love, whether it's for somebody you love or a principle you stand on or a value you hold dear, long as you're doing it out of love, you can be misguided. That's part of life, right? You are not punished for what you do out of love. You only punished for what you do out of hate, envy, and deceit. Anything you do out of love, nature's going to find a way to use it for the greatest good of the collective.
I say
And a lot of the warriors don't know where to fight at because our enemy is hidden in plain sight. And then when we start realizing that the enemy look like us, but they ain't us, make us become suspicious of us.
man, man, look,
But if you know how to read tribal war dance, where sometimes you have to get flogged to bring attention to your plight. And just because you getting flogged, it don't mean you was wrong. And it don't mean you was right.
I say
But it mean that you was necessary for the moment to get this flogging so these people can understand that your situation, when they look into it, it ain't what other people think.
And I
Then they
say,
start seeing the whole setup when they go back and look at what's already in the public domain.
I say for real, if we gonna be about order and obedient, like all this other stuff, we can't be hypocrites. If we saying that you're standing on those Morse principles or any of those principles that we say, you can't be a hypocrite at all. And the hypocrite part is learn bless gospel of Barnabas. Blessed is he who learn how to walk by watching somebody else fall. Blessed is he who learn how to walk by watching somebody else fall, not kicking right down or backbite, because those are things that in Sharia or in the Sharia you could be punished by, right? So when you speak on master teachers, when you speak on certain people, and to make like right now, people are getting paid for views, so they'll say anything. But it's so much intelligent shit to talk about. It's so much shit you could be fighting against or fighting for than to put further kick down your brother. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you see that this is the year of the serpent, like Jesus said
Okay, okay, okay.
rise of the serpent.
But it's the year of the serpent, right? Serpent is a symbol for wisdom.
Yeah,
In the age of Aquarius, would all things be made known, right? We leave in the age of illusion, which was the age of believe it because somebody said it, don't check it out.
I see.
Don't be, look, if you don't got no opposition, you're going the wrong way. And sometimes your brother got to trip you to keep you from going the wrong way because you don't want to listen.
Mm.
But the obstacle is the way. If you're going the right way, you're going to experience some pushback. If you it, the enemy not gonna never stop you when he know you going the wrong
I
way.
see.
So if you going the right way, he gonna put every obstacle in your path, and sometimes he gonna use the ones closest to you to do it. It's your noble nature that's gonna override the negative thrown at you, and that's how you gonna come out on that golden horse of truth.
I see.
Let, let a motherfucker throw stones at your house. Just hope he don't live in a glass one,
I see.
right? Because everybody that throws stones gonna get stones thrown back. And if you don't believe me, ask Angel Bay.
I see.
And, and the people that thought they broke in and had their feet up on your couch, figured they was just gonna move in. This is eviction time. So remember, you gotta have a series of events that paves your path back home in order for you to complete your mission. Your mission not complete till you get back home. Let that sink in,
I see.
right? Once you get back home, now you can deal with everything from a place of comfort and perspective now. You don't know that you have opposition in your circle until you in a condition or position where the opposition shows its head, right? We watch leaders rise, but we don't never see the people closest to them as they saboteurs. We see them as their support system, and their support system got what's called a weak beam. It's an infiltrator in there,
I see.
right? So go back to why Farrakhan did not stop Wallace Muhammad from decentralizing the Nation of Islam before he come back several years later and start to rebuild it. Why he ain't stop him? Why he ain't just pick up and be like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but we're not finna decentralize nothing. Because they would have listened to him back then, but there was a problem. He had to get the infiltrators out.
I see.
And
And it's all
then rebuild the whole nation back to its original glory, minus the infiltrators. And if they in there, don't worry about it because we know who they is. We gonna put them in a position where they hang themselves. You know, everybody is not playing the game on the same level. And very, very few people, I can only name about 5 people playing on Elijah Muhammad level in the history of America.
You know, it's funny, G. Sister Jada called me today, and she wanted to go on with brother Roosevelt, and we were going to talk about a lot of that stuff. They want to hit you up too, but they most definitely want to talk about it on the hidden keys and shit that was going on, and looking at shit from hindsight now into certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. When I was about to break down the DNA and the Khan, you had already broke down the whole that already. Next, I want to talk. What about the Queen Khalifa thing? What you got on this Queen Khalifa, man? There's a lot of information coming out about the Queen. The land is being cleansed over there, however they want to look at it, or however they think they control something, they don't control something. But the Queen is cleaning those lands, and we're talking about minerals and everything else. They're talking about making a smart city in place of those houses they burned, not to mention the evidence they burned. What's your take on the Queen Khalifa and those and the fires and stuff going on over there?
So the Califia Queens wasn't one person. It was a provincial leadership. They had 5 women as the mothers, right? And each one of them had what was a spokesperson, and they was referred to as the Great Bear, right? So it looked like 5 chiefs was running the West Coast, but it was 5 queens, 5 tribal mothers telling them how to move on the land. When they start being attacked, right? Remember, Alcatraz used to have a castle on it before it was a military outpost. The Spanish Armada bombed it into rubble. Walter Disney built a replica of it as the Disney Castle in order for him, because you know he was a mulatto. He was passing. So he was trying to get the memory activated about the castle before they hijacked Disney with all of the pedophile symbolism and programming.
I, I'm down here, so I don't want to talk too much about Disney, but we know what it is. But at
Yeah,
this point, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The centers and stuff like that, I'll be trying to stay away from all that crazy stuff.
yeah. Walter Disney, I think he was 33-degree Freemason.
I just found out that they're owned by the castle, the crown. They're owned by the crown. That's why when the governor down here was trying to go against them, but
Mm-hmm.
you said something else. I don't want to lose thought. It said something before. Yo, it's crazy. Like I said, you keep going back to the imposters or the ones that try to be these people. If this is their culture, why wouldn't they want us to talk about it? Why is it they anybody can talk about it, but they don't want us to talk about these ancient ruins and shit? It's almost like it's robotic the way they get on there and they insult people and try to put them down. I like seeing people put out information and knowledge, especially for the kids being on social media and they seeing the shit now. They got points and shit to where they can go. You know what I'm saying? So it's amazing what they're doing with Queen Khalifa, the whole Olmec or Z civilizations, because now you understand what you're supposed to be doing as far as this ain't some shit we just made up or some Sunni shit or pseudo shit. This some shit that motherfucker been doing since the beginning of time. Let your
Right.
Pope.
Let's go back to when you was talking about the idols, right? Those all of those are what we call statuary, bas relief, relics, temple paintings. That's information. That's not worship. That's
They're
like
saying
writing
prove
a
it,
book.
right? The same people tell you, they'll say prove that them people were this, right? This is from, I didn't make this. This is from Mexico when we went down there. It's from Yucatan, and this is
Mm-hmm.
how they made the people that's in Yucatan made their people with the little locks, black girl.
Video out.
Oh, okay. What she got going on?
It's on cooking with Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me pull it up. They had a ceremony over there, but she gave us a speech, and It seems real simple, but it's real important that we know it.
Mm.
Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at?
While he looking for that, y'all release, burn, burn, release. Release what no longer serves y'all. Y'all, we in a new season. Old dead weight can't go to new season. That's how they say old wine skin. You can't put new wine in old wine skin.
When it first come on, it's on
Mm-hmm.
her channel, Cooking with Chief.
Y'all
This
go
one
to cook
is
with you.
live.
Check that message, y'all, because anything she's saying, that's a mother elder. She always giving us wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking with Chief, y'all go to the Cooking with Chief channel and go because if Chief says something here, it's probably something very,
Yeah,
whenever I
she
hear it,
got.
it hits my
So
soul.
I'm give you some highlights of what to look for. So one
Okay,
is her Declaration of Victory.
okay,
Tribally, she is the only one really that in the Red House that can
mm-hmm,
declare victory.
mm-hmm,
Chief
mm-hmm. Yes,
Warhorse.
mm-hmm.
Another thing she mentioned was that they recognized them going back, I think she said 12,000 years
Mm.
on that particular lay of land, and that they don't have anything to do with the corporation known as New Orleans. So
Oh.
that's separating the tribes from the falling corporate fiction,
Mm.
right? She
Mm-hmm.
now remember they acknowledged her as being the seventh consecutive chief in a line that they've been fighting with,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
right? So they know who she is. She's gonna
Mm-hmm.
have a politician on there, and he's gonna tell you all of the stuff that they recognize, right? Right? The things that they recognize, once we understand what it means, it affects all of the tribes
Mm-hmm.
because I can tie hers in with Empress Verdiasi tied into what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
as part of the collective record, and it'll be a consistency in the what we call the redemption process. It
Mm-hmm.
won't be no broken pieces after that.
Right.
Right? Right. So now we position ourselves to be able to receive it all back, but all of them gave the same edict. Empress
Mm-hmm.
Redbird,
Mm-hmm.
Chief Warhorse.
Mm-hmm.
We not finna just be displacing people,
Right.
but if people were displaced, they have to still be compensated,
Yes.
right? We talking about the land now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody keeps saying when we gonna get the land back, but they have selfish agendas why they want the land back.
Come on.
Right? This ain't no big eyes and no little U's. This is about a golden age, a golden era. The next seven generations of these babies be able to take this further than we could possibly imagine in the restoration of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So everything she said in there was important, even if you don't know what it means. And the most
And if you say you want the land back, have you spoke to the trees? Did you go to the water? Have you communed with the dirt? Have y'all went to the rocks? Have you spoke to the land? Have you spent time with the land daily? How are you not in tune with something, but you want something back? You got to get in tune with it. And you got to love. We have to go back to nurturing it. And then after that, are we nurturing and taking care of one another? Are you feeding those who don't have? Are you just checking on somebody because they have a bad day? What are you doing? Right? Because that's why he's saying not selfish agendas. Like that's what we have to really get back to. Like my dad, and he's not even as awakened as us. He goes and he has all these homeless. Like he feeds like 200 some people every week. Every week.
you
Like
over
this
there
is how bloodline come
whooping heads
from.
now. You over there whooping heads now. There's gonna be a whole bunch of people with their lip poked out.
Yeah,
But you're
because this
telling
is
the
what it's
truth.
about. Because what you asking for, but what you get, what you gonna do with it? Like if we can take our own money, even though it's false money, but what it is, we trying to take care of stuff, right? Are you going to go love the waters and speak to the waters and go heal the waters in the lands? Are you going to go help your brothers or sisters or the children or the babies or the mamas or whoever? Like, what is it that you're doing? Like, what do you want? You want it back for what? What are you gonna do with it? Right? What are you doing weekly? What are you doing daily? If somebody is trying to heal, what are you doing? So that's all I'm saying is make sure that if you ain't doing it, start today. Because again, we are in the ending, but got new beginning. So old ways is over. If you don't worry about it. Okay, well, let's start now. That's it. That's all. And just move forward. You don't gotta be mad, you don't gotta have no beef. You just go on. And let's see what we're gonna do forward and just come up with a plan. It's just one inch at a time. That's why I always say it's a
But y'all can't,
marathon, not a
y'all
race.
can't, y'all are authorized to tell somebody to run that fade though. Just leave your pistols in the car. If you
Well, I keep
can't
my
fight,
girl on me. I ain't need mine in the car because if somebody want to run up,
listen,
they going to
listen.
get ran down.
If they can't fight, they need to shut their mouth. Cause we gonna be running them fades for the big mouth. You want to talk that shit? Ain't no shooting.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna win or we gonna lose,
Mm-hmm.
right? You gonna stand on business or you gonna stand on foolishness?
That's right.
You stand on business, you gonna back. You can't be running your mouth if you can't run that fade. I'm
But
letting
that's
them
all they like to do is
know.
run their mouth. I learned that people who talk a lot, see, tell y'all this.
I'm just letting them know
I'm
because
going to say this.
the clans is taking
Talkers,
it back over, and
talkers
that's one of
don't,
the rules.
talkers don't do and do is talk. If you just like run their mouth, like they ain't really doing shit. It's the ones that, like, if you know, I sit back in the cut, like, if I'm quiet, I done already did everything I'm finna go do. So most people, and every time I went to a new school, I had to go whoop somebody's ass because they thought I was quiet and then I was going whatever, and then I had to pop, and then whatever. So I just learned. I let y'all sit up there and do it. I could be whatever it is you say I am. I'm that. Okay.
Hey, somebody
But when
said
I
where
come,
is it?
then that's it.
Somebody in the comments said where the bow and arrows. That's what we use to go hunting. We
Right.
don't, we don't we don't walk around with bow and arrows. That's some fiction shit out of a goddamn Western movie. You know,
But how
we
about
just
I'm not going to do a bow arrow? I can be able to look with you. First of all, I'm a siren. I can command and your ass will drop it if I really want to. When you start learning about megahertz frequencies and vibrations and how powerful we are, you will understand that when you really have to do all that. So you really about want to be quiet. Because I'm telling you, I got bodies under my belt and I ain't have to light not one candle. I ain't have to lift not one finger. I ain't have to call in not one deity. All I had to say is you're going to remember this face and you're going to remember this name. And they went on that water and give me y'all snatched their ass down. So
hey,
everybody ain't playing. And if you go to the water, you really better not be playing with me. Because I'm out and the fire. And I'm a child of Shango too. I'm talking about people who done died in hellfire. Y'all think the fires is burning. All of us listen. And I ain't got to light not one thing.